Hi, I'm John Bryan, West Virginia civil rights lawyer, and if you've watched any of my activities over the past year, then you know that I've fought against our governor's tyrannical actions and violating the doctrine of separation of powers and trying to govern the state as a dictator or rule the state as a dictator. And in fact, this is demonstrated really in no better way than the fact that he purported to create new criminal violations, new criminal statutes, and that would be the violation of his executive orders. And he made a number of threats that people would be arrested, even though the West Virginia Attorney General came out and said, no, that's not legal, that's not going to happen. Well, here is a video that you can watch of an American hero. This is Les Jenkins, who is a Vietnam veteran, combat veteran, who served on swift boats in the rivers of Vietnam, and who thereafter served as in law enforcement as a deputy United States Marshal, as well as a part-time barber throughout his career, and who retired and opened a barber shop in Berkeley County, West Virginia, in a small town, only to have been deemed a non-essential business by our governor and ordered to stop cutting people's hair. Well, he was, depended on his own earnings during that time. He was not given anything by the government. He was not able to get unemployment or anything of the nature, and he had to have money to survive. So he started cutting several people's hair, including some law enforcement officers. And who comes around but the good old health code Nazis, and the worst of the worst, if you hear me say it anyways, are the inspectors that come from the board, this useless state bureaucracy of the Board of Cosmetologists and Barbers, whom, according to every cosmetologist or barber that I've ever talked to and asked this question, they haven't saved one life. With all the six-figure incomes and the millions and millions of dollars that this bureaucracy has cost the West Virginia taxpayers over the years, do you think they saved one life from some negligent or reckless barber or cosmetologist? Of course not. It's all just about big government, about the administrative state. And what was the essential business of 2020 but the administrative state? And so you can see in this body cam footage that you'll see the inspector from the cosmetology board who comes in following a complaint from a hairstylist that my client was open. And she comes in and she tries to shut my client down, and he demands something in writing stating that he has to shut down, and therefore he can go and try to get unemployment based on that. And she wouldn't give him anything. She calls the police, which, by the way, her husband apparently is a prosecutor or assistant prosecutor in that county, which you'll hear her name drop during this video. And she gets these young police officers to pressure this hero and eventually arrest him. They physically arrested this man and prosecuted him over a number of months. And it was really just in the past few weeks that finally his criminal defense attorney got these charges dropped, and the court finally ruled that the charges had to be dismissed because it was an unconstitutional charge. He was charged with obstructing an officer, and really what he is alleged to have obstructed is the governor. And the governor is not the legislature, and the governor cannot create new law. We all should know that by now. But take a look at this video and let me know what you think. So here we are in Berkeley County, West Virginia. You're seeing the dash cam footage from one of the police cruisers driven by one of the deputies who had responded to the scene here, where I believe the local cosmetology board inspector had called for immediate law enforcement backup because there was this obstructionist who was daring to cut people's hair, even though he was non-essential as per the edict of our governor. And here they pull into my client's barbershop. This is Les's place, the traditional barbershop. And they pull up the long, very, very nice, nicely paved driveway here to this barbershop. And you'll see that they park their police cruisers and they go in. And you'll see them going in and coming out a number of times. And I've tried to correspond it here with the dash cam footage. So there's the barbershop. And if you need a haircut and you're in the Eastern Panhandle of West Virginia, you know where to go. Les's Place, 229-9401.
Yes, the mandate. I knocked on his door because I'm immune comparable, so I'm trying not to be out here. And my husband just had surgery, so I'm trying not to bring anything back to him, you know. So I knocked on his door and asked him to come outside and told him, you know, that there's a mandate, you have to be closed. All the other shops are closed. I'm doing my job by asking you to close down. We don't want you to get the other people sick or anything to happen, you know. He's like, well, I wasn't aware of this. Sure.
Okay.
So, yeah, he just brushed it all off and said, well, I'm not closing. I'll call my lawyer.
Hello, sir.
Okay.
Less. Yeah, so you just got done talking about what's the things out there.
Wait a minute, let me turn this off. What is her face?
The woman out there from the state board.
Yes, I did.
Okay. You know you have to do shutdown, right?
Now, I told her she arrived here at 9 a.m.
Okay.
Barber board inspector came to the shop and stated she had received a complaint and that it was open for business. Excuse me, please. Les's place? Okay, bye. She said that she had to shut me down. I stated that I needed her order in writing and signed. She agreed to do that. I stated that I would contact my attorney, Will Keith,
Berkeley to 155, checking your status.
and get his advice.
Copy secure. 9:59 hours. Break Berkeley to 136, checking your status.
I'm scared.
I also asked
Copy
for the
secure.
name of the
10 hours.
complainant. She refused to give me that name. I asked her if this was tried in court, and she said no. I stated that her order was not legal and went against my constitutional rights. She was told to phone me later today, and I would inform her of my lawyer's advice. She said that the board would fine me. Now, it's an opinion that our government has the right to recommend that businesses close down, but the government does not have the right to require a shutdown of businesses. The government attempts to rob my rights, opens up.
Hey, ma'am. Hey, do you got the order?
Do I have the order?
Yeah, do you have it on you? Because I don't have
Yes.
the governor's orders on.
Give me a second. Yeah, any other complaints I've gotten, they have been closed by the time I've gotten out. So I'm like, oh no, what do I do now?
Do you have a hard copy of it?
Not a hard copy, no. My office is in Charleston. I don't
Okay.
go there often.
All right.
It's these, this, and then the next one too. So
Okay.
apparently
Mind
your
if I take
Kool-Aid.
Huh?
Are you Kool-Aid?
Yes,
My
I
husband
am.
is Joe Kinzer.
Oh, okay.
I took numbers of your cars, and I'm like, this tall, skinny guy and this small blonde lady showed up. He's like, ah, that's Kool-Aid. Okay.
Yeah, that's me.
I don't know.
Order a shutdown.
There you go.
So, it's your ball. It's in your court.
Governor's order.
I lost it.
Berkeley, any stater.
Okay, I need something in writing.
Berkeley,
That's
any
all I
stater
need.
county
I'll
unit
shut the-
available
Shut the place down.
So you good?
to assist
I'm
medics with
good if
psychiatric
I get something in
patient.
writing.
Yeah.
Number
I
41.
need, all I
41,
need is
Advantage Drive,
something.
apartment.
Stating that you need to. I completely understand. I mean,
Yeah, that's
if
all I
if someone's
want.
just coming knocking on your door and being like, "Hey, you got to shut down," you know.
Yeah.
I mean, this is your livelihood, I'm
Yes,
sure.
ma'am. I've got a home, a farm, and a business
Medics
that I'm
for
gonna lose.
psychiatric
Right.
patient,
I mean,
41, Advantage Drive,
She
apartment
is from
5.
Charleston, so all she has is that on her phone.
131
I
So
understand her
Okay.
position.
Yeah.
And all I ask her to do
We'll just provide that.
is provide me a letter, and I certainly will comply immediately.
yeah, absolutely.
I'm
I'm gonna see if she can maybe get a copy for you.
Yeah,
And
I
then
want,
that way
I
you
want a signed copy stating
direct.
that she is shutting me down.
Okay.
Signed by her.
Yes, well, she's the rep,
Okay.
yeah.
Let me see if that's possible.
Because I mean, there's
If she's out there,
yeah, she's still out there.
yeah, she's very upset, and I don't know
Well,
why.
this whole thing, just the whole pandemic itself. I'm only 29. I don't know about you. Have you ever had an issue like stuff like this in the world going on?
Never.
That's what I'm saying. It's
And I
all new
spent
to everybody.
27 years in law enforcement myself.
Where'd you serve at?
I was with Front Royal Police.
Okay.
I was with Suffolk, Virginia Police.
Uh-huh.
Callers
And
advising
then
the female
27
was in
years with
the hospital
Marshal
for this
Service.
previously.
Wow. Thank
They're
you for
also
your
advising
service.
she's gonna be
Oh,
in
yeah,
the
and
staff
you
of the
too.
department.
But I understand everybody, what everybody's doing.
Someone's there to let us know.
It's illegal, it's unconstitutional. And that's why I want the letter. I want the letter because when I turn it over to the lawyer and we file suit, I need backup.
131. That's a correction.
How long have you
She's
been
gonna be
here?
the caller on
10
one.
years
10 years
here.
here.
Prior to this, I was, after I retired, I came back home and spent a number of years in Winchester at a barbershop. there on
109,
Weems Lane.
Berkeley, I'll be en route with 131.
Copy 109.
She's going to her house now.
Sorry, on Berkeley.
That
The
all for you.
female is
She's
ready
gonna
to place
say,
on the phone.
Sign it with her signature.
That's affirmative.
That's
We're
good
attempting
enough, and then
to
I'll
have her
close
put
up.
down the razor blade.
Alrighty.
And I just told the officer, the reason I want the letter is I'm filing suit against the state. I'm gonna do it.
I can respect that.
But to call me down for something like this.
I'm surprised they shut all the barbershops down, pretty much, and
Well,
salons and everything.
I will not give you any names,
Mhm.
but I will tell you that yesterday I cut 10 officers' hair.
Yeah.
10, and I will not reveal their names.
Oh,
will
do I
not
look
let
do I
them
look like I
inform
want to
you.
know?
No, you don't,
Okay.
and you didn't ask. And, but anyway,
Hopefully this all.
no, this is gonna
Insane.
continue on.
You really think so?
Yes, every 2 weeks, they will extend it 2 more weeks. This is all political. It's unconstitutional. If you know the Constitution at all, and you read it, if you read it, you will see that a governor of a state has a right to recommend a shutdown during something like this, but does not have the power to enforce it. And I'm sure both of you know a lot of lawyers around town. And if you asked them and they honestly gave you the answer, they would tell you it's unconstitutional. It's playing right in the hands of the socialists. Now, is she on her way home to do this? I hate to inconvenience her. I know that her husband had just had a emergency operation, and he's recovering from that. And I do know she has a 4-year-old baby. So she would rather be doing other things than this.
Well, I mean,
I understand.
you should come prepared if you're going to be executing information like that.
Well, I mean, I know who she is. She inspects my shop. And so it's not a question of me not believing she's from the government, because I know she is.
All right. Unattended.
But the Barber Board did not have the courtesy to send, to my knowledge, any person owning a shop, whether it be a salon or a barber shop, a letter stating you had to shut down. Nor did the Barber Board ever give a phone call to anybody that I have knowledge of to shut down. So her arrival here today was expected, but unannounced.
I mean, it would have been good to get a heads up of it, especially from the board itself.
Well, they're not doing their job, but they're collecting their money. And they're going to run me out of business.
So you can see basically what's happening here is the one female deputy went outside and she spoke with the Karen inspector, and now the Karen inspector is apparently scrambling around or going back to her home or office or whatever, looking for something in writing to give to my client. It never shows up. They actually just end up arresting him.
109, verify being right with 131. Copy 109.
Berkeley says the female with the razor blades on the phone.
That's affirmative. We're attempting to have her put down the razor blade.
Go Max will be 10-8. Go report.
That radio traffic wasn't actually involved with this, but I just thought I'd leave it in because it had mentioned a lady with a razor blade. But that fortunately wasn't happening at this barber shop. But you know what? That probably is something where the state could have sent a bureaucrat or maybe a social worker to stop this lady. This, could have been a crazy person with a razor blade, maybe in some other shop. So anyways, they're wasting time here at the barber shop belonging to a Vietnam War combat veteran and a guy who not only served his country but served the federal judiciary for all those years. And you can see the at least one of the deputies really I think is listening to what he has to say and agrees with him. The other one, maybe not so much. That's the guy who actually ended up arresting him, physically arresting him. So this is a new case I'm getting ready to file, and it's something that we'll file in federal court. And basically, what is it? What do you have here? He was arrested. There was no arrest warrant. So you have a warrantless arrest. So where there's no arrest warrant and you make an arrest of somebody, what is required? Probable cause. These are the easiest wrongful arrest cases to prove, in which are Fourth Amendment violations, essentially. There has to be probable cause. If there's not probable cause, then it's an illegal arrest, or it's an unlawful arrest, if you like to say that word. So what was the probable cause here? Well, they charged him with obstruction. So obstructing an officer. So is that what he did? I mean, even assuming the things were true, was there probable cause that he was obstructing an officer? Clearly he wasn't obstructing an officer. Who was he obstructing? The Karen inspector, or possibly the governor, or both of them. So the right result happened, and I've been waiting a number of months for the criminal charges to go away, which they did, and now we can proceed with what we really need to do, and that is file a Section 1983 civil lawsuit. So we're ready to get this thing on. So subscribe if you haven't, And also go to the website, thecivilrightslawyer.com, to follow along for updates. Here tomorrow, we have oral arguments in the lawsuit against the governor at the West Virginia Supreme Court. That's Tuesday, February 8th at 2 o'clock p.m. I'll try to post the link and the comments are in the description, but if not, Google West Virginia Supreme Court live cast the arguments 2 o'clock p.m. tomorrow on Tuesday, February the 8th. So please follow along, and I will see you then.